Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the benefits of Guatemalan citizenship. This was requested by the audience, and this is particularly useful if you're of Guatemalan descent. If you have parents or grandparents from Guatemala, you're definitely going to want to listen up. But in general, whether you're an expat, digital nomad, or just exploring global mobility options, Guatemala offers some unique advantages that make its citizenship worth considering. From regional travel perks to tax benefits, a fast track to Spanish citizenship, and even asset protection, there's a lot to unpack. Let's get straight into it with the most up-to-date information as of 2025. So, first, let's talk about one of the standout benefits, access to the CA4 Agreement. I've made another video on my channel about the CA4 Agreement if you want to go more in depth. But basically, the CA4, or the Central America 4, is a regional pact between Guatemala, El Salvador, Honduras, and Nicaragua. As a Guatemalan citizen, you can live, work, and travel freely across these four countries without needing visas or additional permits. This is a game changer if you're looking to explore Central America or set up a base in the region. The CA4 covers a combined population of over 30 million people in a diverse range of economies, from Guatemala's growing tech and tourism sectors to Nicaragua's affordable coastal living. You can move seamlessly between these countries, making it easier to diversify your lifestyle or business operations. For example, you could live in Guatemala City for its urban amenities, work remotely from San Salvador, or spend weekends on Honduras's Caribbean coast, all without immigration hurdles. This level of regional mobility is rare and gives Guatemalan citizens a significant edge in Central America. And especially with El Salvador and what's happening over there and the big economic boom that we're seeing in El Salvador, you could go live there and take part in the Bitcoin economy. Next up, let's discuss Guatemala's territorial tax system, which is a major draw for entrepreneurs, investors, and high net worth individuals, and really any entrepreneurs. So, Guatemala only taxes income generated within its borders. If you earn your money abroad from foreign sources like overseas investments, online businesses, or international clients, that income is completely tax-free in Guatemala. This is a huge advantage in a world where many countries like the US tax citizens on their worldwide income. For example, if you're a digital nomad running an e-commerce store based in Europe or Dubai or earning dividends from US stocks, Guatemala won't touch those earnings as long as they're not remitted locally. Local income, like wages from a Guatemalan company, is taxed at progressive rates up to 7% for residents, which is still very low compared to global standards, lower than Paraguay even, which is 10%. To qualify as a tax resident, you typically need to spend 183 days per year in Guatemala or have your primary economic activities there. This territorial tax system makes Guatemala an attractive hub for people who make money online, for people who are looking to optimize their tax strategy legally and efficiently. However, always consult a tax advisor to navigate double taxation treaties. If you're a US citizen, that's its own rabbit hole. And just generally, you want to ensure compliance with your home country's laws in any country that you may be a resident. And by the way, MyLatinLife can help with that. We help with immigration and tax consulting. Moving on, let's explore one of the most compelling benefits for those eyeing European opportunities. You may have heard of the fast track to Spanish citizenship. Spain offers a special pathway for citizens of Latin American countries, including Guatemala, to naturalize after just 2 years of legal residency, compared to the standard 10-year track for most nationalities. Me, as a Canadian, I have a 10-year path to citizenship in Spain, but if you have Guatemalan citizenship by descent, like from your parents or by birth, then you would qualify to be a citizen of de origen, and you would qualify for this track in Spain. And this is rooted in Spain's historical and cultural ties with its former colonies. As a Guatemalan citizen, you can move to Spain, obtain a residence permit such as a work visa, golden visa, student visa, non-lucrative visa, and after living there legally for 2 years, you're eligible to apply for Spanish citizenship. By the way, the student visa might not qualify. I might take that one back. But the other visa paths, like the digital nomad visa, the golden visa, the non-lucrative visa, definitely count towards Spanish citizenship. The process requires spending at least 183 days per year in Spain and meeting other criteria like passing a cultural knowledge test, though Latin Americans are exempt from the Spanish language exam, which is pretty cool. Once you obtain Spanish citizenship, you get an EU passport, which ranks among the world's strongest, offering visa-free access to over 190 countries, including the US, Canada, and Australia. Spanish passport, definitely one of the best in the world. You also gain the right to live, work, and study anywhere in the European Union, from Germany's tech hubs to France's cultural centers, or down on the coast in Portugal. Anywhere in Europe, you'll have access, even potentially easier access to, say, Switzerland, right? So for Guatemalans, this is a massive opportunity to unlock global mobility and economic advantages and to improve your passport portfolio. Plus, Spain allows dual citizenship with Guatemala, so you don't have to renounce your Guatemalan passport. This 2-year pathway is a strategic move for anyone looking to bridge Latin America and Europe. And by the way, MyLatinLife, we do Spanish visas as well. We do all the visas in Spain, and we're happy to help. Another benefit tied to Guatemalan citizenship is the accelerated pathway to citizenship in other Latin American countries. So Latin America is already known for its relatively short naturalization periods, and Guatemala's passport can make these processes even smoother due to regional reciprocity and shared language and cultural ties. So you don't need translations, which makes things easier. And sometimes you even get an accelerated pathway to citizenship. So you have countries like Argentina that offer citizenship after 2 years of residency, Paraguay and Uruguay after 3 years of residency. In the rest of Central America, and I think even Mexico, you have a accelerated path to citizenship where I think it's 1 year to citizenship in El Salvador. So you get your Guatemalan passport, you go live in El Salvador for 1 year, and you can apply for citizenship. And the same goes, I don't know the exacts on for Nicaragua and Honduras, but it's probably an accelerated path to citizenship. And I believe in Mexico as well, they can take advantage of a 2-year accelerated path to citizenship. So this creates a web of mobility across Latin America, and especially Mexico and Central America, where you can diversify your bases across multiple markets or simply have backup plans and build a huge residency and citizenship portfolio if you really want to take it that far, right? And the Guatemalan passport paired with another Latin American citizenship is only going to amplify your global reach, because every Latin American passport is a little bit different today, and who knows what things are going to look like 10, 20 years from now in terms of, different visa-free access and how different Latin American passports can complement each other in mobility. Let's say you do the El Salvador thing for 1 year. El Salvador may in the future get visa-free to the US. That really could happen. But Guatemala probably isn't going to get visa-free to the US. So there's different benefits to each Latin American passport. Now let's move on to asset protection, which is a critical consideration for many seeking second citizenships. Guatemala's legal and financial systems offer robust solutions for safeguarding wealth. By holding assets in Guatemala, such as real estate or bank accounts, you can shield them from lawsuits, creditors, or political instability in other jurisdictions. Guatemala's territorial tax system complements this nicely by not taxing foreign-held assets unless they generate local income. For example, if you own property in Guatemala, that would be taxed locally. But if you own property elsewhere, that's not going to get taxed in Guatemala as a Guatemalan tax resident. One cool thing about banking in Guatemala is Guatemala is not part of CRS. We've made another video on our channel about CRS, but basically it's the common reporting standard, and it's an information sharing agreement that the majority of the countries in the world participate in. And there's really only a handful of holdout countries. And Guatemala, I believe, is one of those holdout countries that still isn't part of CRS. So they're not doing a lot of information sharing with other countries around the world. Now, that could obviously change over time, but Guatemala has a few more tricks up its sleeve in terms of banking. Setting up trusts or offshore companies in Guatemala is another thing you can do for asset protection. Guatemala is actually quite well known for foundations and offshore trusts. Even for people who have no ties to Guatemala, this is a common service that we help people with. We have a great team of lawyers on the ground in Guatemala, and one of the big services they do is setting up trusts. Cool. So this makes Guatemalan citizenship particularly appealing for those looking to diversify their financial portfolio and protect their wealth in a stable, low-tax jurisdiction. Beyond these strategic benefits, Guatemalan citizenship offers practical advantages for travel and lifestyle. The Guatemalan passport grants visa-free or visa-on-arrival access to about 130 countries, including the Schengen, the UK, and much of Latin America. So having Schengen access is huge. As an American or Canadian, you might not appreciate that, but for people who have weaker passports, having Schengen and UK access is huge. So not quite as powerful as a US or EU passport. You don't have visa free to the US, but it's stronger than many other Latin American passports actually, and it provides a solid plan B for travel. You could consider this passport not tier A, but definitely tier B. And then the question is it like tier B plus, tier B minus? I would actually give the Guatemalan passport a tier B plus. Within Latin America, you can seamlessly travel to Mexico, to Brazil, to Chile. So it's really well connected. And as a citizen, you can fully immerse yourself not only in Guatemala, but also in Latin America as a whole. You can own property in Guatemala and in the CA4 region. You can access local healthcare and education systems. Overall, a pretty strong passport, and I would say an improving passport. Another perk is the ease of obtaining Guatemalan citizenship through descent or residency. If you have Guatemalan parents or grandparents, you can claim citizenship by going through a process, by gathering the documents, by working with a lawyer, and you can get Guatemalan citizenship by descent. MyLatinLife, we're a full-scale immigration consultancy. We help people get Guatemalan residency and citizenship, and we have active Guatemala citizenship by descent cases going right now. We do a lot of Mexico citizenship as well, citizenship by descent. We do El Salvador and every other country in Latin America, pretty much every country in Latin America, we're doing citizenship by descent cases for, because people are finally realizing the value of these passports, the benefits of these passports. And if you can unlock it for free because your parents or grandparents were born there, it's just an absolute no-brainer. So there's a link in the description where you can book a call with us. You can have a one-on-one consultation, get all of your burning questions answered about Guatemala citizenship, and we can actually put a Guatemalan passport in your hands. We can go through the process. We can get you Guatemalan citizenship and put that passport in your hands. So link in the description, book a call with us, and we'd love to help you out. So who is Guatemalan citizenship best for? It's ideal for anyone seeking a low tax base, for digital nomads, for retirees, for investors looking to protect assets, for Latin American descendants wanting to reconnect with their heritage, for anyone aiming for a Spanish or EU passport through the 2-year pathway. It's also great for those who value the regional mobility in Central or Latin America or want a cost-effective second citizenship without breaking the bank. To wrap up, Guatemalan citizenship offers a unique blend of benefits: CA4 access for Central American mobility, a territorial tax system for financial freedom, a fast track to Spanish and EU citizenship, accelerated paths to other Latin American nationalities, and strong asset protection. Add to that a vibrant culture, affordable living, and a decent passport, and you've got a compelling option for global citizens. If you're considering this path, start by researching your eligibility, consulting tax and immigration experts like ourselves, and exploring Guatemala's lifestyle firsthand. Thanks for watching. If you found this video valuable, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more global mobility tips. Share your comments and thoughts below. We'd love to hear from you, and book a call to speak with us directly. We'll see you in the next video.